Alright guys, welcome back to the game of the day. There's actually quite a lot of bonus clips I want to show you on this one. So let's just jump straight in. A lot of cool little moments over the past couple of days that I want to clear off my hard drive. So this is number one. We're on Temple of the Silent Storm. There still hasn't been an actual game of the day on this. There will be at some point. So we are 8 minutes 30 into the match. At 8 minutes 30, 2 buffs spawn. There's one called Stillness, which doubles the points that each of your currently captured nodes are worth. So if my team gets Stillness right now, we have a 4 cap, which would be very good because currently we're losing the game. But with the 2 cap plus the double points, that would be really good. And then there's also another one called Tranquility, which spawns down here. They both spawn together. Tranquility gives the team that owns it all the nodes. So if you manage to get both buffs and you have a presence on the nodes for a total of 5 objectives covered all at once, and remember, you only get 5 people in a team. If you can pull off that's the dream. You get 6 cap, you potentially win the game. We really need this to come back into this. This has been a grueling, difficult game. Really fun game, to be honest. And so I opt to come down here. This isn't really where I want to be. As this role, I'd rather sort of jump in on fights that are already going on. But maybe I can sneaky grab this. Fresh Air Ellie can do some things with capping these. You can cover the start of a channel with the swirling winds, which can get you some stuff. You can blind people during the channel, so you're not interrupted using this. You can blind people another 3 times using this. And in Earth Attunement, you get another reflect, which you can pop on the fly as well. All of which keeps you going. Another really strong class is any Mirage build. Because of their dodge roll mechanic, they can also evade a lot of stuff. You can drop a Chaos Storm on yourself, get yourself Aegis and whatnot. Anyway, so yeah, I'm going to try and grab this Tranquility. And mostly, my going for this Tranquility here is just to deny it from the opponents, who I'm scared are going to come get it. If we can grab this, I don't really care what happens, but I just want to make sure we come out of this with a 2 cap. And you'll notice that on the map, everybody else is fighting up there. Anyway, I've done a huge description. This is just a bonus clip. So I come in. I'm the first one down here. I'm maybe 5 seconds too early. Those are 5 seconds I could have contributed to another fight. Who knows? A thief comes, okay? So this is an SD thief. And so I have to take a 1v1 with the SD thief. Immediately, so I had the swirls precast. Immediately, I know that I'm not going to get that full cap, so I have to fight this guy. I aggress forward. He knows I'm fresh air. He line of sights me. He doesn't charge me because he knows that this 1v1 can swing either way. It's a pretty exciting 1v1 to watch, to be honest. It really can swing either way. So he throws something at me. I actually blow a Twist of Fate. Really terrible play there. I aggress him because I think that this is probably one of my best opportunities. He gets a really beautiful engage on me. Tons of damage. And while I'm in Arcane Shield right now, which makes me block attacks, he's SD. So he's unblockable on one of his main attacks, which can crit for like 7k if he gets very lucky. I only have 8,000 health. He can chunk me, basically. He can kill me. So I'm actually really scared now. He got such a good engage on me there. So I stand on this box for a second. The box doesn't really do anything. And so I start thinking, right, I need a no blink spot. Now, this, I think in the back of my mind is no blink. I throw a lightning flash to verify it because I'm not used to 1v1. Since I came back to PvP, I'm not used to 1v1s in down here. My lightning flash doesn't work, so I know that this is no port. I climb on top. And I remember actually, from while I'm up here, so now that I'm on this no port, his sword 2 doesn't work. If he shadow returns to this ring, and then he tries to use sword 2 to me, it won't work. His steals no longer work, of which he'll have 2. This is really strong for me. I'm already in an extremely strong position, but I put myself into an even stronger one here as well. You guys might not know about this. I proc my air attunement, I proc my super speed. A jump dodge would need to cover this in combat otherwise, and I get onto this post. So this post is also no port, and even better, it's got a better line of sight onto anyone that was trying to cap the node or whatever. So this is a really, really great place for me to be right now. Really great. He knows that I'm on no port and he can't do anything. So all he can do is hide behind the pillar. And I'm happy to take this stall. So the reason I'm happy to take this stall is because when I came down here, it looked like we were winning the map. Remember, we had the double cap and they only had 1. Now, there's 2 neutralizations, but we still have 1. So, technically speaking, we're still winning this. There's a fight going on for Stillness. But we're actually winning this right now, and I'm okay to take this stall. Essentially, what we've done by doing this infinite 1v1 that's now going on, it's being passively played because we've deadlocked one another. But this is essentially meaning that the rest of the game is now 4v4. The 2 skirmishers, the 2+1ers, they've been taken out, and now it's up to just, is my team better than theirs? And I'm sustaining the status quo that's in my favor. So it's not ideal. I'd rather kill him and cap Trank, but I don't have the confidence in it. I know that my passive trait's off and stuff. He says I can wait. I type in my team, I say don't calm down. So what I'm scared of right now is that one of them tries to assist me, and I don't want that. I just want them to win the rest of the map. Tranquility's fine, and I'm just saying don't calm down. So he says I can wait because of the deadlock, and I say me too, because I feel like this is an okay play as long as my team's alright. You'll notice that my guys start dying though, and in truth, probably the enemy team in this game is better than my team. He says haha. So we just talk for a second. He says he's not essential to his team. And he says, I am essential to mine. So his estimation of this is that my team needs me, but his team doesn't need him. So I think at this point he might be right, but I'm okay. I type to him, come on, I need this win. Let's go for the fight, basically. And then this I'm actually really happy with. You know how I was scared someone was going to come down on my team? Well, he just had that situation. He had his Firebrand support come down, which is amazing for me, okay? So he says, you're going to lose. I type, this is good, okay? And I actually really like this. This is beautiful for me. Basically, this guy can't really hurt me because I can Swirling Winds and counterburst him. This guy can never cap it. I'm essentially stalling a 2v1 down here now. So this is really good. This combo of players is excellent. So he throws projectiles, but I'm reflecting. And I can just do this. So I type, this is good. I got my Swirling Winds up. To be honest, I'm making a misplay here. I could have retargeted to this guy way quicker, all right? Way quicker. There's no point me hitting the Firebrand. I realize that I can now, so now I start pressuring him. He's forced to leave. I can just throw random attacks back at the Firebrand, look back at the Thief. Unfortunately, so this was really good. Now I go down, though, and unfortunately, I die because not only did he come down, another player came down as well. They have an opposing Fresh Air Ellie who dropped a Dragon's Tooth on me, and I didn't see him come down. So I actually baited 3 of their team down to Tranquility, stalled a 1v1 essentially down here for a long time, all because of, again, using the terrain. So that's the bonus clip. This game, I do not win. So here you can see, like, he's trying to attack me. You can see he's going with the jumps there. And he sort of can't very easily. But, you know, I stole this for a really long time. And again, just by sort of utilizing a bit of terrain. So that's bonus clip 1. Here we have another bonus clip. It's on a Coliseum game, a very close Coliseum game. As you can see, actually, we're losing this right now. I take the sword for some last-ditch attempts. I have to push into some really ugly situations here. So I go for the back cap on far, which I need. I've been jumped completely unawares by an opposing SD Thief. I come onto these logs because this is no port, and I wonder if I can shake him a little bit. A warrior is on me as well, so, you know, this is a really bad game. They've got the opportunity to do this. The Thief bails really heavy because he's scared of my burst, which also has the advantage of making my no port stronger. The warrior doesn't seem to be able to do the very simple jumping puzzle of getting up to me. So I've got 2 players on me. I'm holding them here on, like, the glassiest thing you can be in Guild Wars, by the way. I take the crates. They still can't quite get to me. I cover in swirls for a couple of seconds. I'm still holding 2 players. I'm doing this all to try and buy my team some time. I bail out on 300 health, okay? So what we do here is we take an Arcane Blast in air, which blinds this Thief. So he's not going to get a stray attack on me. You see the miss lands there. We go to Earth, we Lightning Flash forward and use our Glyph in Earth, which gives us a ton of protection and our health back. So we're at 7k health. We've got the Warrior and the Thief still on us. From range, we take a Lightning Strike, I think maybe on that Thief over there. We look towards the Mesmer in mid, who actually just got blown up. Probably too little too late. The Warrior is still following me. Think about how low I was. And we pull off, so we still got the Thief on us here. And we managed to completely evade them by coming to this corner. We jump on this little post here, just a small little post. The Warrior is still gunning for me. He tries to move forward for the auto attack. He falls down the cliff. We take a pretty comfortable little jump back, and we peeled that Warrior away just fine. We've also, by rotating into our team, managed to get some pressure off of us via the Thief, and we managed to bail out of a really, really gross situation. The Thief is now the one out of position. And we take some heavy pressure on him there. I think we lose this game anyway, but it's a cool little juke that we managed to pull at the end. So there's a bonus clip there. Next bonus clip here is on Legacy. The final 2 bonus clips are going to be here. So we're free capping our close node. Very tight, very close game. I think in the end I'm going to lose this one as well, unfortunately. But so one of the worst things you can rotate into or be forced to deal with on this build is Druid. Druid, like, is super sustaining. Very, very durable class. Depends on the amulet that they're running, but if they're particularly glassy, we might be able to deal with them. Here we're going to have a Druid rotate into us. He's got his Signet of Stone, as you can see here, so he can invuln for 6 full seconds. I've just full capped. I want to preserve this double. I want to give them as much time as possible in mid to actually win that. So we take a fight on a Druid. And I actually try a different rotation here, so this is more of an interesting thing for Fresh Air Ellie. The fracturing strikes, man. I'm actually starting to get a bit better at them. You can immob someone in a fracturing strike right out of a plasma beam and then take the air blast, and you can do a lot of damage. So here we take an immob fracturing strike to do the engage. And you watch, we actually put heavy pressure on the guy, immediately blows his Signet of Stone, and because we essentially take what is an extra spike, like a tertiary spike on the build that I'm only just sort of getting to grips with, because we take that, we can keep him CC'd far away. He blows his double dodge, and immediately after, we can run the plasma beam. So actually killing a druid there, a squishy one, but I always enjoy doing that, and I wanted to show you guys the power of fracturing strike there. We can even, I think, try and pluck off this guy. I don't know, we're 2v1 though, so there's only so much we can do. So there you go, there's that. And then again, for the final clip, just a fun little play to do with the terrain. Again, to do with actually peeling warriors off. So in a moment here, you will see we've got a Mesmer chasing us. So this specific Mesmer variant is actually quite easy to kite away from. It doesn't have too much chase potential. But we've got a respawning warrior chasing us as well. So this is pretty bad. We also don't necessarily... I mean, we do get lightning flash. We could take a turnaround here. But let's pretend that this stays on cooldown. We want to preserve this for some reason. So I'm actually going to bail out of all these players here by coming over here. We don't even necessarily need the super speed, but you take the twist of fate, jump onto that little rock. You can come up this cliff entirely. This warrior doesn't know what he just saw, and so he's going to struggle at the bottom of the cliff. He doesn't manage to do it, and we peel away extremely healthy, and the Mesmer that was aggressing us actually now gets slapped down by some of our allies. So another fun little thing that you can do. Obviously, all these games have either been like pretty serious losses in the end for me, or slam dunk victories, so I don't want them to be the full games of the day. But there you go, there's some little clips that I wanted to show you guys. On to the game of the day itself. This is going to be Coliseum. Now, yesterday I talked a bit about this as a very team fight-y map. Open fields, objectives, all about team fighting. I talked about a game that I played that was very difficult, where essentially we couldn't win any team fights, but obviously we wanted the win overall. So just to demonstrate here, we do have 2 Necros, okay, but then we have me as a skirmishy guy. Potentially one of these Mesmers is running side nodey, or they could be running very bursty as well. Against an extremely potent meta side noder, we've got 2 Necros and a Firebrand, and then potentially a Mesmer that can rotate around with paws and stuff as well. So really strong comp against our fairly flimsy comp here. If I just re-rolled to like Firebrand, and then maybe if we swapped a Mesmer off as well. But anyway, so it's going to be a hard game, all right? This is a difficult game. It's going to go on for a bit. I probably won't pause it too much, just because the bonus clips have already been quite a lot of this video. But yeah, so we're going to go in. You can already see in chat on the bottom left, people know that this isn't going to be easy for the team fight. So straight away on the opening, I'm not looking for a huge team fight here. I'm really not, because I don't think it's going to work very well. You notice my entire team is pushing to far. I know that they're pushing to far. I'm going to sort of stick about mid a little bit, because I want to keep 2 of them here at least. If I can accomplish that, then that's pretty good. And that's what I've got here. I've got the Mesmer and I've got the Firebrand. There's no need for me to rush to far as well. We'll let them roll out. All I need to do is get on that mid cap before it goes full cap, ideally. I might not even go for that. Yeah, I think I'm just going to let him full cap it. Oh no, he distorts. There you go. So he does take mid. I probably could have played a lot more aggressively there, because we take a lot of damage from this Mesmer anyway from Condi's. Had I known how tricky this game would be, in retrospect, I probably would have denied those 3 points at the start of the game for sure. But yeah, because this is going to be a pretty intense match here. So, again, very strong matchmaking I had on the day that these came up. So yeah, we're just trying to kite away here. We get him massive damage there from the one of the Phantasms. I think that was the shield spawning Phantasm. Or that was one of his utility ones, perhaps. So we bail all the way around. I've really not contributed much right now. Pretty bad gameplay here. I actually even stopped, I've stopped playing completely because I want to see what skill it was. So it's the shield, Echo of Memory. Has hit me. I don't remember actually not evading it, because you can dodge that. When the Mesmer's blocking, you can dodge at the end of his animation and deny him the Phantasm altogether, which is really important when they're like running Chrono Phantasm and stuff, and especially since the Phantasm rework. So we decided to go for far. This is actually pretty good for me. It's about as good as I could expect. I've peeled one of the Necromancers away from the Firebrand support, which is very nice. I take a Phoenix Cleanse on myself, which I really need. Unfortunately, I let this guy attack me way too much. And he's using the pillars very, very, very well here. So he's pulled me right away. Finally, I start taking some damage on him, but it's probably a little bit too late. I still want to play aggressively for this node, though. So I take a knockdown spike. His auto attack puts weakness on me again, because the Grandmaster is completely broken trait that needs to be nerfed. So yeah, now I've just been bombed and my entire follow-up spike has just been completely nullified. But luckily I've got a friend moving towards the node who did get the newt. I can help him finish this now. This is a really easy, like, quick little situation we're in to get this plus. So we take that. There, I think, I should have played a lot more aggressive. I could have done a lot better there. But importantly, I didn't die, right? Like, that's so important to not die, because you can turn around and make a play even if you're on no health. So mid is lost again, but we always knew mid was going to be lost. We're playing for sides here, really. We got a bit of catching up to do because it was a rough start. But we've got far. My Mesmer intelligently is staying, watching for that respawning Necro. On close, it looks like we've got our respawns moving into it, and we should ultimately win that. I can take sword here. And we'll be able to watch to see if the firebrand is rotated off. So as a support, bunker is not a good word to use, really, to describe that role in Guild Wars 2. Bunker makes people think they just need to sit on a node all the time. But it's vital that if you're playing a support character, you are with the team fights. And that's why here you can see mid is open. He'd rather a Scourge fight me here, rather than he fight me. The Scourge actually has a chance of winning this. A support on their own, I will just grind through and kill eventually, and he's got nothing else to do, so he has to be with the team fights. He has to help other people, so he made a great rotation there, and he let his respawning Scourge come in. I had swords, so I had a really easy time. I also got the plus from the Mesmer, which I think was over-aggressive. I would have rathered if the Mesmer had stayed, to be honest, and I would have taken full cap mid, but by the Mesmer doing this, it allows us, let me just pause here, so because the Mesmer moved from this node up this way, it means that I can move from this node up this way. And what the Mesmer essentially did here was meant that we can take the 4v4 here. Because remember, one of their Necros is dead, so they got one player at spawn, they got 4 here. We have one player in mid, we've got 4 here. So this is a 4v4, but I've rotated into it too slowly, and my guys are dying. Okay, so this is like the power of staggering, I guess you're seeing a little bit here. One guy's already down. You can see my Mesmer's super low as well. Nonetheless, we try it. I don't want these team fights. I really don't. Look at that huge, massive health swing back up on that Necromancer there, who I'm really threatened by. Look at the massive aggro I take the second I go near there. That's because, you know, leaving a fresh air really unchecked at a team fight is a silly idea. So they managed to just pressure me off of that fight altogether, which I really don't want. We still have sword, though. We CC him. We wait for the dodge roll after the CC. We plasma beam. We can knock him down. We take massive evades on his shade there. The Mesmer is moving back in after, I think, uselessly being on that far node. This Scourge is playing extremely well, by the way, aggressing me very, very heavily. That's exactly what he wants to do. Here we know this is a great opportunity right now. We got to score this kill on this Scourge before the Firebrand comes in. He's got a Druid supporting him right now, which means a Search and Rescue can come out, as you see there. But after that Search and Rescue, the Druid can't do too much more to help him, and he's still vulnerable. Incredible blind there, saved that guy from the FGS4 and I die. So here I'm actually a bit mad at the Mesmer ally that I've got. So if we rewind, focusing targets is really important, okay? So look at how low this guy is. He just needs one attack. But this Mesmer, for no reason that I can understand whatsoever, is attacking the Druid. The Druid's a terrible target because A, he'll just heal it up, but B, he doesn't even threaten us. This guy threatens us. This is the target, always. He's squishier and he's a natural target. So 1% health, I've got such an easy kill. In truth, all I have to do is drop this greatsword and press the skill 2 on my air right now and he's died. But I think that I can get more value from the greatsword if I kill him with it now. So we move in, but he gets this blind. I'm not even sure what this blind is from, to be honest with you. And the Scourge stays alive. He pulses himself to 9% health, then he goes all the way up to 33. All this time, that all my Mesmer had to do was just look at the Necro. And he just leaves me here to die. It's just really, really gross. So I'm pretty bummed with that Mesmer. And I think in chat, I sort of, I might ping him or something. And he says, yeah, I should have gotten the Mesmer. I think post-game, he says, oh, I made a mistake. I should have gotten the Mesmer. On the Necro, sorry. So he sort of knows his mistake. We lose this 2v2 because he doesn't focus target there. So I genuinely think this game we could have started sealing this as a solid win. Because if we won this 2v2, I could have rotated it back into that Necro on his respawn. And you'll notice we just got the Newt on close. Like, this would have been a really, really solid snowball here for us. But we miss it because of that misplay in the 2v2. But it's fine. There's still everything to play through. Mistakes will happen on both sides. Like, we would have had them trip capped right now, just to be clear. That we would have had them trip capped. Now, when I find that by the time I rotate back in, the Mesmer's dead, and it's Firebrand Scourge here, which we cannot fight. Okay? You'll notice that at close, we ended up winning an engage there, but it was only... But the firebrand peeled out perfectly safely. So I take as much pressure over the body as I can. Dragon's Tooth, the Phoenix was incoming, but he gets the res in time as well. We just don't have the pressure on these bodies. We know that the support has blown everything he can, though, and he's kiting away. So it's really hard to be a support sometimes, because if you kite away to save your own life, you're also kiting away from all the support you'd help your allies, which is, you saw a perfect example of there. But yeah, so he's down over there. I'm happy to rot that. Now we can really get the damage rolling. A res goes off back there, though. Probably a misplay from me, actually. Maybe I should have noticed. What did he do? Did he rally? He might have rallied. You know, that could have been a bit of a mistake from me. But yeah, so we're just trying to push these Scourges down constantly. We dodge. Oh, we didn't dodge that. We're trying to kill the Scourges. He rallies. We put him down. They rally. We put him down. And this is sort of what the team fight's like. This is an unwinnable team fight. Maybe it would have been if I'd managed to kill that support, but we'll see. I know we need extra firepower if we're ever going to be able to do something here, so I go for the sword again. So much sword in the previous 2 friggin' game of the days, right, guys? So yeah, we pick this up, and we're looking to split these guys apart. We're looking to play a 3-cap game. It's still 5-round Scourge in mid. As juicy as that Scourge looks, there's no point. Like, if I put him on the deck, he'll just get rezzed, right? So we can't do much. Instead, I take a +1 here. We outnumber this guy. Look at the obscene amount of boons on this Mesmer. This arena net, this is not okay. This is ridiculous. This needs to be changed. Along with all the active mitigation stuff, Mesmer's a bit stupid in the game at the moment. But they just had a big change, so we'll see what they do. Nonetheless, we will take this guy down. So this is a side nodey Mesmer that you can see here. Very different to like the bursty ones that a lot of people try and play. And you'll just see the amount of time it takes me to actually break through this and get some actual damage rolling. Don't forget, he's doing this against a Necro as well. So finally we get that. That was with sword, too. With sword! Obscene. So yeah, we take that. The other 2 nodes have failed, though, at this point. My 2v1 has probably taken a little bit too long. Actually, I don't know. Maybe that's a reasonable 2v1. You can only expect so much with how tanky some of these builds have suddenly been inflated to. So yeah, we rotate towards far. Now, this is a really scary moment because this is an easy kill. I have sword. I know I can actually global this guy. We can 100 to 0 this guy. However, we know we've got a Mesmer's about to come on us, at least. And then whatever else has happened on the rest of the map, there might be more respawns. So I'm very concerned about this. We sort of move very close to their spawn here, actually. We take the blink behind him. We take a nice big burst. We don't get the global. I actually don't know what sigil setup I'm on right now. But there we do afterwards with the Arcane Blast. Very simple little thing here. And this is what I want. I want to be rotating on this map into these 1v1s on vulnerable classes like Hollows, like Scourges, like anyone that's playing anything remotely classy. So here's that Mesmer. Now, I've just seen that Mesmer on the plus on close. I know how tanky he is. That's a ridiculous engagement for me to go for. So I don't go for that. I see whether I can help my friends who are fighting over this node here. Unfortunately, it means another team fight. My other option here could have been to have sneaky gone back to the spawn to kill that Scourge again. Off of his spawn, you see he's just rotating into mid now. I could have killed him right as he came out of the gate. And again, he would have had no support. And that could have kept them split up again. So that was my other option. Instead, I contribute nearly nothing to the mid-fight. I wait for the Mesmer to mindlessly zerg off. You notice this Mesmer doesn't drop a port here or anything. I think he's like full team fight mode. He's not got like any real rotation capability. But so we take this newt. The mid-fight is still going. And we're newt in mid. I think that is a losing battle, though. But it's okay, because we've got sides again, right? It's just constantly looking at these sides, constantly trying to rotate away from that firebrand. That's what I'm trying to do this game. So here we get a Scourge. Again, Scourges can be pretty scary. I've got the weakness on me, so I don't take the Plasma Beam. We know that there's no point right now. That's too strong of a cooldown. We'll get it later. He goes for the Torch 4, by the way, because he knows he can hit me through the pillar. He's a bit far away. I've got respawns coming in, though, so now it's a bad idea. And I pull out. Luckily, the buffs are coming up, but they've actually just grabbed the buff, so I'm now really scared. Oh, wait, no, that's my ally. That's my ally that's grabbed that buff, so that's not a problem. I think real-time me recognized that, because I was not playing away from that very well. So, yeah, we've got that Scourge. We managed to keep him away from us. We're just figuring out what we want to do. I could go back to close now in the Mesmer v Mesmer and try and pill him out, or I could try and make some plays against the more vulnerable guys, such as these. So, I have sword right now. I just don't get instant reap. So, we take as much pressure on this body as possible. The rally goes through. We kill it again. Another res will go through. I've got my FGS up. I'm actually going to use this as a mobility tool to get back to the node now. And hopefully, again, pull just one of them away. So we look back to see what we've got. Look at how close this game's getting now. We're reaching 400 points, and it's basically been an eye for an eye. The druid, the ranger, manages to get to me just in time. So here's a great example, by the way. If I was the playstyle I'm playing right now, this is a thief playstyle. Everything this game, like me constantly going for these back caps, these decaps, moving back to fights, decap, pick someone off on the road, decap. This is a thief playstyle. And I can tell you for nothing that if I was a dagger pistol thief this game, I would be doing much better. I would have had the mobility to secure that decap. I would have had the mobility to get back into the fights quicker before they were going. You remember that one I went into on close? So, like, different games mean that different +1 rolls are better. And quite often you'll find this is why people say Fresh Air Ellie isn't good. It's because the role that I'm playing right now, I would have been better on a DP Thief this game. Like, 100% better. There may have been a couple of little kills that I would have scored quicker on Fresh Air Ellie. Particularly any occasion where I've wanted to bully a Scourge. It's much easier to do that on a Fresh Air Ellie than a Thief that has to get into melee and go into Desert Shroud and stuff. But generally speaking, the mobility would have been nicer. And you can see I'm being punished here for the build that I've chosen to play. I think it's okay, though. I'll do a separate talk on build diversity and stuff, but I actually think this meta's got a really good mix. So anyway, we can take this kill, we can hammer this guy out. The druid, obviously, who prevented my decap, has got nothing to do there, so he's just going to keep following me, Starf Auto attacking me. Usually I hate druids doing this, it's so annoying, but, like, this is perfectly reasonable. There's nothing else that this guy would have done. So, you know, fair enough to him. Doesn't matter. So, yeah, we push the Necromancer as much as we can. We score the kill. The Druid obviously never had Search and Rescue or anything. The Firebrand gets to the encounter too late. My FGS would have been really nice here. We get another Scourge kill. And right as I score this Scourge kill, again, I go for Backcap. Because there's so much Condi on this guy. I don't think that they need my cleave. And the body might bait them to rush over to it. And I just want this last decap to really solidify our lead. To just really snap it forwards. And so as you'll notice here, we're really not... And there you'll notice he gets back in time again, right? So again, actually a really good example of the mobility. But that was the thinking behind my play there. To be able to race against these druids with just the obscene Staff 3 movement is, you know, you really need some pace on you. I have good in-combat pace in terms of, like, WASD because of all the super speed. But in terms of gap creators and stuff, it's nothing compared to having Infiltrator's Arrow and Shadow Step and so forth. So anyway, we now win the game. And like I said, I think that this is a really tough game because this is not a game where any of our team fights were necessarily easy team fights at all. We were team fighting against the support with that one. And we did really well, I think. The team actually on the... watching this back, I think... we actually were much more capable and competent in the team fights than I thought we were. But this is sort of an example of trying to get them to split apart, you know. When I pull the druid out of this mid-fight, it is good in its own way. It would be much better if I get the decap at the same time, but it is good in some sense. And yeah, we actually managed to hold on to the 2-cap. Definitely some misplays from me there, but I think a pretty fun game. And yeah, we managed to come out of it. I don't know whether did I die on this game? I can't remember. Did we? But we take... Well, I guess we'll see in a second, so... Here I was at 1715 rating. I was number 11 on the leaderboards. So yeah, apparently I did die. I can't remember when, but we get 8 kills. Not too much damage, and there you have it, guys. So that's the game of the day. That was a couple of bonus clips. I'm going to clear my hard drive out now, and we'll see what other fun stuff we can get. Thanks very much, guys, and I will see you hopefully on a good one coming up very soon.